Alright guys, and welcome back to another video from the Ultimate Collector. So if you've seen my latest video, you would have seen I had a summer holiday trip to Japan. Had an absolute amazing time out there. As always, Japan is a fantastic country, and Tokyo is an absolute delight to visit. And as always, I have brought back a haul of items and goods during my stay there. Now this might actually be the record of largest haul that I've brought back from Japan. As you can see here, there's a lot of items all over the floor here. In fact, this took me nearly an hour just to get all this set up here. So yes, a lot of items. You might be wondering, how on earth did he get all this inside a suitcase? Well, a lot of these items are actually flat, so they don't actually take up too much room when you put them on top of each other. But yeah, I'm going to go through every item that I've got here on show, give a little bit of detail and how I picked it up. Not going to go into too much detail on everything, otherwise this video could turn into several hours long. I should point out that some of these items here are actual gifts that I've picked up for friends, and there's a couple of bits in here that I was actually asked to pick up for a few people who are going to pay me. But I thought I'd do this video as soon as I got back, just to show you everything because it looks pretty cool. So I'm going to start with the top right, and you can probably already recognise these characters here. Oh, I should point out now, before I get too far into the video, that there probably will be a slight NSFW warning as you get into this video. Nothing too graphic, but you'll see a few bits that might be classed as NSFW. So yeah, back to the haul. The top right here, we have a reasonably large selection of Pokemon goods. Now the majority of these come from the Pokemon Center in Sunshine City, and if I had to say most well presented shop and overall appearance that I've ever been in, the Pokemon Center, it would be that. It is amazingly immaculate. Everything is stocked full of goods. There's no out of stocks or anything. If something sells, they immediately replenish it. It's an amazing shop. Now, I'm not a very large fan of Pokemon. I like Pokemon and I play the games, but I wouldn't class myself as a mega fan of the franchise. But I'm certainly looking forward to the new Pokemon Eevee and Pikachu game coming out on the Switch. But yeah, the items we've got here. So the large Growlithe plush is actually come from JediProd, which you may know if you've come from my other channel, is home to Sonic the Hedgehog there and many other Sonic the Hedgehog related goods. But yeah, the Growlithe plush was available there. It was actually one of the prize winners for playing one of the games. It's actually a pretty big plush. You can see with comparison to some of the larger Sonic bits in the display behind it that yeah, that's a pretty big plush. Coming to the left of it, these are some food related items. That bag there with Pikachu on it, it's got food in it, and the bag underneath it, I can't actually remember what this one was, what I picked up now. It's got a random character on the tin, and I think it's got some sweets inside it. I should just say, on top of that Pikachu bag is some milk chocolate. You will see some food related bits as we go through this haul. Below that is a how many packs we got there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7 packs of Pokemon cards from some of the newer series that they have got released at the moment out in Japan. Pokemon cards are very cheap to pick up out there, at least the modern ones are. It's 150 yen per packet, and you think, well, at least in the UK I think they retail at £3.99, nearly £4 a pack, so yeah, much more expensive. There's a couple of pens there next to them. There's a Pichu and Squirtle. The bag they're on is actually just the bag that you get from buying from the Pokemon Center, but it's just such a cool bag that I've got it there, them sitting on that. To the right of that is just some Japanese crisps, and there's a little ball prize there. That was actually another prize that I got. That's a second place prize from one of the games at JediProd. It's got a little keychain inside that little ball as well. Yeah, that's not technically from Japan, this item, but I've just thrown it in there anyway because it was waiting for me when I got back. That's Mario Tennis Aces. I've played the demo and I actually really enjoyed it, so I wanted to pick up the full game. It's still sealed, haven't opened it yet. Can't wait to get that played. Next to that, now I visited Tokyo Tower, which is a really fun and great place to go if you want to see some great views of Tokyo. It's an amazing structure. It looks very similar to the Eiffel Tower, I'm going to say. Yeah, it's quite similar looking to the Eiffel Tower, but it's coloured orange and white instead, so it visually stands out a lot more, to me, impressively than the Eiffel Tower. But that's actually a bottle of water shaped from the Tokyo Tower. Haven't opened it yet. Below that, now if you've been to Japan at all, then you're going to know what these are straight away. This is melon pan bread. Honestly, for me, the tastiest bread that I've ever had or still eat. It's amazingly sweet bread, and because even though it's called melon pan bread, it doesn't actually taste anything like melon. The reason they call it melon bread, essentially, you might guess, is because it's got cubes at the top which looks like diced melon, but it is absolutely delicious to eat. You can get it in London in the Japan Centre, but it doesn't taste nowhere near as good. It's still nice, but it's so much nicer eating it out there in its home origin of Japan. Really cheap as well. It's like 100 yen like per roll that you can see there, so I'm going to be eating them up soon. Akihabara chocolate leaf, that's like a cake there underneath that. Quite a lot of this items that you see here, maybe about 70%, come from Akihabara. It's definitely my favourite place to visit in Tokyo. It's an amazing part of the city. Everything is it's known out there as the electric town, and it's certainly deserving of that title because literally everything is bright and colourful and literally something straight out of an anime. If you go to Tokyo, make sure it's on your go-to location list because it is amazing. Below that, I have some Tokyo pancakes. But it's not like fresh pancakes that you see there. They're right. It's like in little tiny little roll things. Hard to describe because if it was fresh pancakes, there's no way the sell-by date would be as long on it as it is. Tokyo Tower Crunch. So this is just like some cookies that come from the Tokyo Tower. I did buy a little few bits from the gift shop in Tokyo Tower. Next to that is a golf ball from Tokyo Tower as well. There's like a keychain there from it as well. I always like to sort of buy one keychain every time I go to somewhere special like that, and I've got like a collection hung up of many keychains from many locations I've visited throughout the world. Next to that is like another model of Tokyo Tower, but this one's filled with like smileys. Coming above that, now this is kind of like a set of free items. Let me just zoom out a bit. So I'm quite a big fan of the anime The Testament of Sister New Devil, and they just recently had an OVA come out. Well, I say recently, about 5 months ago. Now unfortunately I missed all the exclusive merch they had out there for it. There was like keychains, little character stand-ups, and various like sort of napkins and stuff. But I did manage to find the OVA, reasonably pricey. This was actually the most expensive item I bought while I was out there. And just in case you're curious, the region is the same for Europe as it is for Japan. So these do work on like it's a Blu-ray, so it'll work on any Blu-ray player. Very fun show, but I'd I'd give you a slight warning if you go to check this out. It is slightly NSFW in scenes, but you can probably already guess that from the how would you describe these? They're not like daikimarus, they're like just sort of cloths of pictures of the characters from the show. Haven't actually opened these yet. Now these actually come with the Blu-ray OVA that I picked up, and I'm assuming these two items were actually two of the pieces of merchandise that were available during the promotion for the show. Unfortunately, I didn't see too much merchandise out of there for it. It's not an overly popular show. It's got fans, but it's nowhere near as popular as maybe High School DxD. There's loads of merchandise out there for that, and you will be seeing some of that as we carry on for this video. So yeah, awesome pickups. Let's go back down. So here's a Nakano Broadway map. Really awesome place. Very much sort of anime and manga central themed, as well as video games. If you just like old school type shops, it's an amazing place to go to. We've got J-World Tokyo here. Now I still haven't actually managed to get the time to go to this, so next time I'm back out in Japan, J-World is a place that is #1, or is very high on my list to go to. It's kind of like a small theme park, but it's based off the Shonen like Jump characters. So from that license, so you're going to get Goku, Naruto, you've got Luffy there. I think, is it pronounced Luffy or Luffy? I haven't really watched too much of One Piece. And is that Ichigo? Man, I haven't watched Bleach for ages either. Not too familiar with the other characters. I know that police officer on the right hand side, but I can't remember his name. It's a pretty popular anime out in Japan. But yeah, pretty cool. Here's just a couple of generic fans that I got while I was out there in just one of the cheaper shops. It was very hot during my last week while I was out there. Moving up. Now, one thing that really shocked me this year when I went out there is, like, with the popularity of Dragon Ball Super and Resurrection F, Frieza merchandise is everywhere, and I mean everywhere, in all types of variations of merchandise. I have never seen such different variations of merchandise for this character. It's crazy. So I picked up some of the more unique bits when I was out there, and I honestly don't think it gets much more unique than this one to the right here, which is a golden Frieza spoon. It's official merchandise, and yeah, it's pretty crazy. Now, I should say that it's not actually a solid gold spoon, because there is no it was only like I think it was like 2,000 yen, so there's no way gold would be that cheap. But yeah, pretty awesome. Next to that is actually a set of playing cards, and each card has a different picture of Frieza. It feels very high quality pieces of cardboard. It's not reused artwork on several other cards. Each card has a different picture of Frieza. It's very awesome. Next to that is a travel sticker with it says Planet Frieza. Now, I see a lot of these travel stickers out in Japan now, not necessarily just Dragon Ball, but anything related. It seems that since Mario Odyssey has kind of incorporated that into the game, that they've become really popular now. And yeah, there's that one still with a price on it. It was only 320 yen, and it's pretty awesome. Coming above that, it's a Frieza portfolio sleeve. It just says Dragon Ball Z Frieza. It's pretty cool. I'll just cover that last Frieza right before I move on. That's just like a towel of Frieza there, and the Japanese says my power level is 530,000, which is what his power level is in his first form. Oh yeah, and on the left there, almost missed this. There is Frieza scratch cards, as in real gambling Frieza scratch cards, and I'm not sure if I can zoom in too much before it blurs, but I didn't win on this one, but basically you have to get like I think it's a set of 3 characters for a win. You can see there that like the characters you get are like from the Ginyu Force, and I believe, yeah, so it's all the Ginyu Force and Zarbon and Dodoria, and there's also a second chance to win on that on the right hand side there, but you need to get Frieza and King Cold to win. But even though I didn't win, that's just really awesome to just bring that back, because it's just such a unique piece. I mean, how often we see gambling Frieza scratch cards? Really cool. Okay, so let's move back to the right. This is like a little postcard. The Racing Hatsune Miku project was celebrating its 10th anniversary this year, and there was like a shop out there with pieces of merchandise exclusively for that, and it had pieces of the cars that have been used in the races, which was really awesome to see. I luckily managed to get this before it closed, because these sort of promotional shops come and go all the time in Japan. They're only open for a few weeks and it changes to something else, promoting something different. But yeah, you've got all 10 years of the Miku illustrations there, and these ones have also been made into figures as well. More than likely definitely seen one of these figures around online, or even just a picture of it. So moving up, we've got some Dead or Alive, yeah, that's some playing cards as well. I almost forgot what that was then. It is playing cards. Pretty awesome. We've got some chocolate, 2 boxes here, some premium excellent chocolate and some Akihabara dark chocolate. Coming above that, we've got some Moe Moe cookies, really awesome, just love that cute display, also from Akihabara. And above that, I think this one is cookies as well, but this one come from Odaiba, from the gift shop. The one with the Statue of Liberty, like with a flame coming out of her mouth. To the left here, some various Kit Kat flavours. Kit Kat is massive out in Japan. It's by far their #1 chocolate brand out there. It's pretty crazy how many different variations, flavours and styles of Kit Kats there are out there. For those that don't know, the translation to Kit Kat in Japanese means good luck, which is why it's immensely popular out there. So Kit Kat means good luck. So yeah, pretty cool. Below that we've got some peach flavoured Pocky, pretty cool. To the left of that, now I've got many of these sort of, how would I describe this, like a crisp snack that you open. They're really cheap to buy, they're like 10 yen each. Each one has a different flavour. The one on the left's like chocolate flavoured, and I haven't actually tried that other one yet, but I got, man, loads of these. I brought back maybe 40, 50. Quite a few of my one from playing various crane game machines out there, because these are the only sort of crane game machines that I can actually win off, because they're quite easy, because the prices aren't that high value, but it's fun to do. Coming below that we've got a few more, but also Space Invaders is celebrating its 40th anniversary, so there was some various exclusive Space Invaders goods that I saw while I was out there. They've also got a really fun Space Invaders 2-player game in the arcades out there, which I played with a friend, and really fun. But yeah, there were a couple of the Space Invaders crisp snacks there as well, just next to them. And we'll have to get around to eating all this stuff before it goes out of date. That should be cool. Right, working our way back down below the freezer. So we've got some Resident Evil bits, or as it's called in Japan, Biohazard, but personally I do prefer the name Resident Evil. So there were some badges that you could collect out there in the gacha machines. Now the only gacha machine that I saw with these 20th anniversary for Resident Evil was actually in Joypolis, which is pretty strange, but you got to think that they do have a Resident Evil 7 virtual, well, it's not VR, it's like a real life ride where you're walking around and people are dressed up and they jump out at you. I did have a go at it last year and it was really fun. But yeah, that's one of the badges. It's completely random. I got a pretty good one. It's just sort of the badge from the Raccoon Police Department, so it's not one of the higher up levels from the police, as in stars. There was also a BSAA one, but it was reasonably expensive for a gacha machine. It was like 300 yen a go, so I only got one of those, but still pretty awesome. Coming below that, I did visit the Capcom Cafe, which was quite far out of Tokyo. It was in like I believe it's the Saitama province, as they call it out there, and that was really fun place to be. Now at the minute Capcom are doing is it a Monster Hunter collaboration, like with all their merchandise and food. Now I've never actually played that franchise from Capcom, but that's really big out there with them at the minute. It would be really fun to go to visit the Capcom Cafes when they do the collaborations with such things like Street Fighter or even Resident Evil, which they had last year when it was its 20th anniversary. This is actually a bag here, and it's got like chibi versions of the characters with Coffee and Games Capcom Cafe. Really fun place to be, and the food was really nice too, even if I didn't understand the characters or themes it was featuring, but really awesome. Maybe they'll be doing a collaboration when they have the Resident Evil 2 remake coming out next year, which is a game I am extremely anticipated to get. Okay, so coming to the left here, now these are actually from a shrine. I can't remember the name of the shrine now. I think it was Kanda Shrine. Now, as this shrine was just out of Akihabara, everything in the shrine had a sort of anime feel to it, which was awesome. So these little things you buy, you can buy them from there, and one of them will give you good luck, or it's supposedly, or one of them will give you like a good health, happy relationship, vice versa, and you buy them and supposedly it does. Now I've got many of these sort of things before, but these ones sort of have like an anime character on them, and it's just so cool. And this thing to the left here is actually a wood block, wish block, I should really say, a wish block, where you buy from a shrine, you write your message on and what you want. A lot of things will be like, oh, I hope I wish for good health, or get well soon to someone that maybe not well, or I want to pass an exam. But as this was from this Kanda Shrine, it's got a crossover with what is this called? It's the Love Life no, School Idol Project. Yeah, sorry, well, same thing, whatever. So, admittedly, I was supposed to write a message on here, and then you tie it to like the tree or some of the other like pieces of rope they've got, and there was thousands of these on there. Some people have drawn absolutely amazing artwork on them. It's absolutely incredible, but I didn't really want to use mine there because I just thought this was too awesome, and I just had to bring this back. So yeah, that's really cool. Coming above that, now that may actually look like an old item, but this is actually a new item with the very classic Mario Bros artwork on it. Even there's 1985 there, which is really cool. Now this is actually wet wipes, would you believe it? But how cool is that? It's an official licensed piece of merchandise as well, and this was available in the shop Super Potato in Tokyo. Coming back up, we've got a couple of anime art books here. I just picked up a couple of random ones as I was going through some of the shops. You can't go to Tokyo and not bring up at least buy at least one art book while you was out there. So we've got two here. Above that, you might be wondering what this is, or you might be able to read it already. This is actually canned bread, and it's really awesome, very tasty. Canned bread, how awesome, eh? Okay, let's move to the left, to the books. So that's actually a Rias Gremory t-shirt. So there was a high school DxD, which is the anime. It's celebrating its 4th season now, which is Hero. And there was actually a museum out there. Yeah, a museum, I know. Of this anime. And it had like various merchandise. It had huge cutouts of the characters. It had signed stuff in there on display from people that do the voiceovers or animators. There was exclusive stuff. In fact, I did do a video covering that museum on this channel. If you go on my videos, it was a couple of videos back covering this. Unfortunately closed now if you wanted to head out there, but yeah, that's a t-shirt. It's quite NSF, the artwork. If you're curious what the full artwork is, it's actually based off this print there. The one on the left, you can probably already guess that. So yeah, and there's a couple of still shots that come with the t-shirt when you bought it, which is pretty cool. That's just a random postcard up there that was thrown in with one of my purchases from one of the shops. Next to that one is another Rias Gremory sleeve, which is pretty awesome. To the right of that, we've got a random anime picture of a character which come with the art book above. I'm just going to zoom out a bit to make it a bit easier. Right, coming below, this is the Japanese copy of Mario Party 3, which is pretty awesome, right? And to the right of that is some Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles trading cards with a sticker and one stick of bubblegum, which is actually still in there. Because these are actually from the 90s. There was a shop that was selling all vintage trading cards from early 90s and various cartoons, like Transformers, I think I saw was one of them there. Christ, what else was there? The Simpsons. There was also ones from 90s superhero films like the 1989 Batman and Batman Returns. Really awesome fun place, just outside of Joy Palace in Odaiba. Coming to the left of Mario Party 3 is actually a Japanese guidebook of Mario Party 4. I managed to find this really cheap, so I just thought I'd pick it up because it's pretty awesome. To the left of that is another Japanese guide from the anime Dinosaur King. And to the left of that, just trying to get it in there, is the latest manga for the Monster Mizumi, which is a really fun anime. You can't go to Japan and not pick up at least one manga book, so I had to get that one. I haven't opened it yet and flicked through that, but it does come with a card at the back bit of it, as you can see. Pretty awesome. Coming below that, as I already said, the last week when I was out there was really hot, so I had to pick up a couple of fans while I was there to keep cool. Reflections on the lights on that one, but if I do it like that, you can see. So it's a pretty big one, this one, and this one was actually a free one that they was handing out. I picked up a couple of these, one of which I'm going to give to a friend. And I think that is everything covered. Just looking, there's so much here. I'm pretty sure I've covered everything here. So yeah, whew, that was a lot of talking. This video's turned out a lot longer than I thought, but there's a lot of stuff here. Really cool if you've managed to make it this far into the video at the end. I really do appreciate this. If there's anything here that kind of looks interesting that you might want to know a bit more about that I didn't say, because I tried to keep this as short and sweet as I can, please do ask me in the comment section below, and I will certainly get back to that. Otherwise, there was more stuff I brought back, but I just couldn't fit it in here. I brought back a lot of like leaflets and pictures of characters and whatnot from animes, but I chose out the best stuff that I could show you here. But yeah, as you can see, pretty awesome. So once again, thank you guys for watching this video. Really do appreciate your support and feedback. Stay tuned, I'll have some more videos coming soon on this channel. Take care of yourselves and see you soon.